While the year 2018 has been fruitful so far, there have been quite a lot of films that didn't live up to the expectations. A lot of good films released this year, some of them being Mukabus, Padman, Sonu KT2 Sweetie, Rid, Hichki, October, 3 Stories, Sanju. However, there have been some films that just left me confused as to what was the purpose of making the film. In the series of half-yearly roundup, here's a look at the 5 worst films of the year for me. 5. Hate Story. For the 4th installment of Hate Story franchise starred Urvashi Rautela in lead, and to be honest, the second part of franchise was quite good. However, this time around the twists and turns seemed to be forced, the performance by the entire cast was horrible from the word go, and the dialogues were as tacky as they get. Since not much was expected from the film, it finds the 5th spot in this list. Unlike the previous 3 installments, sex didn't sell this time as the box office outcome also was not promising. 4. Bhagi 2 is actually one of the most successful films of the year if we look at it from the commercial point of view. It did find acceptance from the target audience, however it didn't really work for me. The action sequences seemed to be forcefully infused in the screenplay, and they were not even half as effective as the ones in the first part. The story wasn't gripping, and it just dragged after a certain juncture. 3. Peri Peri was indeed the most pointless film to have released this year. Promoted as a supernatural thriller, the film had absolutely no story, and the loud background score made the film unbearable after a point of time. Despite the runtime being less than 2 hours, the film seemed to be a never-ending saga. 2. IRL. With Neeraj Pandey at helm, the expectations are always sky-high as far as storytelling is concerned. However, IRA was a perfect example of a director getting over-ambitious by trying to infuse a lot of subplots, which after a point of time stopped making any sense. As the suspense unfolded towards the end, I was wondering as to what the need was to have so many subplots, when the thing that Pandey is trying to say here has no relation whatsoever with what was shown in the first half. 1. Race 3. With great power comes great responsibility. Race 3 was one of the most anticipated films of the year, and why not? It was an action film starring Salman Khan and led. The film did average business at the box office, and that's majorly because of Salman Khan's hold at the box office, as the word of mouth for the film was one of the worst ever this decade. The dialogues were outdated, the music was tacky, the action sequences were over the top, and the performances by entire cast, barring Anil Kapoor, was terrible from the word go. While watching the film, I felt that there was absolutely no effort to make even a half-decent film, as everyone including Salman Khan were just sleepwalking. Take